Hey Jungkook fans, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that has quietly taken over everyone's attention, not a performance, not a song, but a feeling. Jungkook's fashion right now isn't just about what he wears, it's about who he's becoming, and why this era feels different from anything we've seen before. Stay with us, because once you notice the details, you'll never look at his style the same way again. There's something quietly powerful about Jungkook's fashion lately, something that doesn't shout for attention, yet somehow pulls everyone's eyes toward it. At first glance, it looks simple: dark tones, heavy textures, familiar silhouettes, but the longer you look, the more you realize this isn't random. This is intention, this is control. Black dominates the palette, but it never feels flat. Leather jackets bring a sharp edge, structured, confident, almost rebellious, while washed denim and distressed fabrics soften the look just enough. It's a balance Jungkook seems to understand instinctively: strength without stiffness, attitude without excess. The boots stand out immediately: thick soles, combat-inspired, grounded and bold. They don't just complete the outfit, they anchor it. Every step feels deliberate, like he's walking through a world that moves around him, not the other way around. There's weight in that choice, and meaning too. Then there are the layers: hoodies that look worn in, denim that feels lived in, textures that tell a story before he even says a word. It's not polished perfection, it's raw, human, and real. Jungkook isn't dressing to impress fashion editors, he's dressing to express something internal, something personal. What makes this era of his style so captivating is how effortless it appears. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels like a costume. It's as if the clothes are extensions of his mood, his mindset, his evolution as an artist. Cool doesn't come from trends here, it comes from authenticity. Accessories play their role quietly. Beanies pulled low, minimal branding, subtle statements. They don't steal attention, they guide it. Your eyes move naturally from top to bottom, absorbing the full picture, and realizing that every single piece belongs exactly where it is. There's also a certain darkness to the aesthetic, not in a negative sense, but in a mature one. This isn't the brightness of youth trying to be seen. This is confidence that doesn't need validation. Jungkook's style now feels like a reflection of someone who knows who he is, and is comfortable standing in that truth. Fans feel it immediately. You don't just see the outfit, you feel the energy. It's why screenshots spread so fast, why discussions spark instantly, why people try to recreate the look, but never quite capture the essence. Because the magic isn't only in the clothes, it's in how Jungkook wears them. This fashion moment isn't about luxury labels or price tags. It's about mood, presence, and storytelling. Jungkook turns black into emotion, fabric into language, and streetwear into a statement that says more by saying less. What's interesting is how this style quietly mirrors Jungkook's musical direction: darker tones, deeper emotions, and a stronger sense of self. Fashion, for him, doesn't exist separately from his artistry. It moves alongside it, evolves with it, breathes with it. There's a cinematic quality to these looks. You can almost imagine him walking through empty city streets at night, neon lights reflecting off leather, footsteps echoing against concrete. The outfit becomes part of a scene, part of a story that fans instinctively want to follow. Even the imperfections feel intentional. Faded denim, rough textures, worn silhouettes, they suggest experience, growth, time. This isn't about looking new, it's about looking real. Jungkook's fashion now feels like a visual diary, each piece capturing a phase, a mood, a moment. And that's why this era resonates so strongly. Fans aren't just admiring clothes, they're connecting to a feeling. A quiet confidence. A sense of independence. The kind of cool that doesn't beg for approval, because it already knows its worth. What makes this even more compelling is how adaptable the style is. It doesn't rely on one single item. Remove the jacket, the presence remains. Change the boots, the attitude stays. That's the mark of a true fashion identity, one that lives beyond individual pieces. There's also a subtle masculinity woven into the look, not aggressive, not exaggerated, but steady and grounded. It's protective rather than performative. Strong without being loud. Jungkook seems to embody that balance naturally, and the clothes simply follow. In a world where trends move fast and images fade even faster, this style lingers. It stays in your mind. You remember the silhouette, the mood, the feeling it left behind. And that's something not everyone can achieve, no matter how famous they are. Jungkook doesn't just wear fashion, he gives it atmosphere. And in doing so, he turns everyday streetwear into something timeless, something unforgettable. There's a quiet confidence in how Jungkook allows the clothes to speak without overpowering him. The silhouettes are strong, but never distracting. Everything works together: movement, posture, presence, creating a visual rhythm that feels natural rather than staged. It's the kind of style that doesn't chase attention, it simply attracts it. What stands out most is how grounded everything feels. Despite the bold elements, heavy boots, leather textures, dark tones, there's a softness beneath it all. The layers don't restrict him, they flow. They move with him. It creates a contrast that feels deeply human: toughness on the outside, sensitivity underneath. This balance is rare. Many try to replicate it through expensive pieces or exaggerated styling, but something always feels missing. With Jungkook, the connection feels organic. The clothes adapt to him, not the other way around. That's why even the simplest moments feel impactful, because the energy comes from within. There's also a sense of privacy embedded in this style. The beanies pulled low, the darker shades, the minimal exposure, it feels like a quiet boundary between him and the world. Not a wall, but a filter. An unspoken reminder that while he shares his art freely, some parts of him remain his own. As time passes, this fashion era feels less like a phase and more like a foundation. Something stable, something lasting. It suggests an artist who has settled into himself, who no longer needs to prove anything, yet continues to evolve naturally, without pressure. Fans don't just admire this look, they study it. They pause. They replay. Because every detail feels intentional, even when it appears effortless. And in that space between effort and ease, Jungkook's true style identity lives. This isn't about following trends or setting them. It's about existing confidently in your own lane and letting the world catch up when it's ready. There's an unspoken maturity in this style that feels earned, not performed. Every choice reflects restraint, knowing when to add, and more importantly, when to stop. That kind of awareness only comes with growth. Jungkook's fashion no longer asks for permission, it simply exists, confident in its own language. And maybe that's why it resonates beyond visuals. It feels like a quiet statement about identity, about becoming comfortable in your own skin, even as the world watches. The clothes don't define him, they follow him. And in that subtle distinction lies the reason this era feels so powerful, so lasting, and so unmistakably Jungkook. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Jungkook's world and felt the energy behind this era, don't forget to hit the like button to support the channel. Make sure you subscribe for more exclusive Jungkook updates, stories, and discussions, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.